Did you know you had 3 brains? I'm serious. Besides the brain in our head, we also have a heart brain and a stomach brain. Each one a sophisticated network of sensory and motor neurons. This revelation was a little depressing for me. Not only should I be 3 times smarter, but it also means I'm way behind the times. Our ancestors knew all this, which is why we have the notions of following your heart or trusting your gut. All modern science did was change the nomenclature, and then pat itself on the back for discovering something that's always been known. But this video isn't about those 3 brains. It's actually about the triune brain hypothesis proposed by Dr. Paul MacLean. His model divided the brain into 3 separate parts, responsible for instinct, emotion, and reason. He labeled the part responsible for instinct the reptilian brain, or R complex. This is the reactive part of us focused on survival. This is where fight or flight comes from, and where we condemn ourselves to when we take on an us versus them mentality. Emotion comes from the part he labeled the mammalian brain, or limbic system. While still reactive, it's a little more evolved and carries our memories, as well as our subconscious. Finally, we have the neocortex, or new mind. It's our higher thinking mind, responsible for reason, logic, creativity, as well as integrity and morals. This part of the brain is not our natural state, and the desire to attain it is the backbone of all science, philosophy, religion, alchemy, and metaphysics, as well as story. Have you ever felt a slave to your emotions, or found yourself lashing out at people you care about? There's actually a legitimate reason for this, and it isn't just because we lack self-control. Believe it or not, one of the jobs of our brain is to filter reality. We don't see the world as it is, we see it as we are. This is why the ordinary world in a story changes after a hero does. You see, when we don't properly process an emotion, our brain puts us into what's called a limbic reptilian holding pattern. This state literally programs us to forget traumatic experiences as a way to protect us. These charged memories trigger responses that spike our emotions. And since we've been literally mind-swiped, it's like we're experiencing the event for the first time, every time. The crazy thing is that it doesn't even have to be an event. The process can be triggered by a smell or sound, even color. And yes, this is why certain colors are used at certain times in film and television. This is especially true in news programs. It's always manipulation. Our triune brain is the reason history cycles, and is a major component as to why there is only one story. You see, humans always fall to a reptile state the second our identity or beliefs are challenged. The moment we feel threatened, we become reactive and de-evolve into a state of survival. This is because all thought forms have energy, and to survive, they have to be fed. Humans are never their beliefs, past, or what they see in the mirror. All points of view are self-serving, and when we identify with them, or worse, take pride in them, we automatically disempower and victimize ourselves. Those that promote the us versus them mentality don't care about us, and laugh themselves to the bank when we donate, march, or divide ourselves according to their fake narratives. In story, this type of thinking is called the ordinary world, and is the mindset every hero must escape from. This is why Neo from The Matrix is named Neo. He has to use the neocortex, or new mind, in order to become the One and restore paradise. But just like us, the second he identifies with a label, and that label is challenged, he finds himself right back where he started, trapped in the reptile mind. This fall from paradise creates a wound which we keep buried by staying in a fight or flight mode. This loss of innocence is painful and sends the hero into an orphan state of thinking. Like us, the hero suppresses the pain by jumping from one dopamine producer to another in an attempt to numb and forget the experience. The call to adventure is a call back to this wound. This triggers the hero's limbic reptilian holding pattern, and they reject the call as a means of self-preservation. The villain in every story is stuck in this pattern. Eventually, circumstances force the hero to evolve out of this lower consciousness, and they enter the mammalian brain. This state of memory and emotion is painful, which is the source of all conflict in a story. This process leads to an ego death, as everything the hero used to take pride in dies, and they evolve to their higher self. This rebirth of the neocortex not only saves the hero, but changes their world forever. This is true in story because it's true in us. The triune brain is connected to everything, including the Trinity. But that's a lesson for another time. You could just figure it out for yourself. You have 3 brains after all. Or is it 6? There's only one story. There's only one person in that story. And that person is you.